Welcome back, one and all. Game 2 in this best of 3 between two fantastic players on the North American qualifier for the Red Bull New York City Battlegrounds. I'm Rifkin, I'm casting today with Doom, and spawning here in the upper right corner of the map with a barcode. It is in fact TeaCupSunday.
And his opponent, he's way ahead of the StarCraft 2 meta. Doesn't need luck. Because his name is Puck. Got some rhyming skills, man.
No, that's pretty good. I was trying to like spin the camera like a turntable.
Oh, yeah, no, I appreciate that. DJ Rifkin. DJ Rifkin _ Kings with a Z.
Yeah, that's how I was Dimitri Martin, who's like, if you want to make anyone's title seem less important, just add DJ in front of it. DJ Abraham Lincoln. DJ Rifkin. DJ Doom.
That's a clever one.
Yeah, we are having our Mr. TeaCupSunday scout around here, make sure there's no initial proxies within his base. I guess expecting a response in that nature, but Doom, we've got an 8 pool coming up.
Yeah, man, same strategy as last time. So, although TeaCupSunday did not see the success with this last game, he's going to press forward. And on a 2-player map, a little bit better options here for him. Well, last map was 2-player map too, but wait, no, 4-player map. Sorry.
I can kind of get behind this thought process though. When you get someone like Puck, this is someone who is ultra scary. This is a Protoss player that you probably know, no matter how good you are in Masters, you still can't match in the macro late game. So going for cheese like this, absolutely risky. Doesn't even guarantee it has a chance of success, but maybe it's better than trying to go that 20-minute game versus someone like Puck.
Yeah,
but
I can definitely see that logic. I'm curious to see if he'll be able to find a window for himself. Puck is dropping down that earlier gateway in this situation.
Yeah, and this cannon's actually so well guarded. The problem is, though, it doesn't cover that back half of the Nexus, and that's why he's getting the gateway. So he's got units a little bit more mobile. But, yeah, another cannon coming down here, realizing all the links coming into his base. Puck perhaps a little bit not really in trouble. But, yeah, here we go. Link's gonna try and get on. Oh, I think he'll be absolutely fine. There's just no way.
He's been utilizing that mineral walk really well, and if you guys aren't familiar with what mineral walking is, you basically just box all your probes and you just right-click them on a single patch. You want to right-click a lot, so you kind of clump them up. They've changed the way that units stack up in StarCraft 2 since people used to use the Viking flowers back in the day, but you really want to aim for this mineral patch that's kind of sunken behind the 2 forward mineral patches there, up in the, I guess we're going to call it the leftmost patch for himself. That way you can get all of your units all clumped onto one spot and they can all attack at the same time, which actually does a significant amount of damage to some unsuspecting units. Man.
I like how this just turned into like a day 9 daily because we know what's going to happen with the game. No matter how we watch, just no matter how it gets played out.
Puck will not be getting +1 upgrades anytime soon. I'll just mention that.
Okay, well, you know, we're a little bit delayed here in chat. Tins would ask why are they rapping, because Puck made us rap battle before they would even start the game. This incredibly rude player. No, Puck's a great guy, and I'm glad to see he'll make it through to the early rounds here. Cheese not going to dissuade him in the slightest. We got the hatchery coming out the natural. Looks like TeaCupSunday is going to try and macro out of this once again, but I don't know, Doom. The gateway's down so much earlier for Puck this time. His gases are coming up as well. There's a lot of Lings outside of his base, but the problem is these are all useless units. Unless they're doing something, Lings are typically not that good. The only thing they're going to do right now is to make sure Puck doesn't come out with a probe and, like, say, proxy him or something.
You know what I'd like to see TeaCupSunday do maybe is just get 100 gas, get his speed up, and then try to get 3 bases up off of that with Ling speed. You know, he does have a decent opportunity here to establish some semblance of map control, considering, you know, Puck did go for this gateway opener. I don't think we'll see the Stargate out of him this game, but yeah, I could be wrong in that regard. But I think if he tries to get those 3 bases up, he'll have a much better shot at trying to hold Puck onto 2 bases, because Puck's really just now going to be establishing the natural. As soon as TeaCupSunday moves that Overlord in, he will recognize that fact.
I think it's hilarious, by the way, that he just walked away. He's got about 12 Lings over here, and he ran away from 2 Zealots. Like, he can take that fight as long as he even half-ass micros those Lings. But probe, does go down in the end. Oh, I forgot about Frozen Blood. I should be focusing on that. My apologies to the viewers.
Jeez, Rifkin.
Cheese whiz.
So it does look like TeaCupSunday is going to continue to mine gas. So I'm very curious to see if maybe a Baneling Nest will be in our future here. I'm wondering if maybe rather than going for this early Ling pressure play if perhaps a Roach push would have been more fine-tuned for what the style that Puck goes for. But I suppose the Mothership Core can deter those pushes, relatively better than what we've seen. And we don't really see the Roaches in really any early games these days, as far as I know.
No, and I do want to take a moment here to give credit to the cool SimCity Puck's pulling off here at the bottom of his ramp.
Like
this guarantees, even if his opponent goes for like a Ling all-in, even if he goes for a Bane Ling all-in, with force fields and good building placement, there's just no way for him to lose this. But again, I don't want to... This is one-sided, but it's only one-sided because one player chose to open up with cheese, and then it didn't work and has fallen back on it. He's caught up in drones. He's got that much going for him, TeaCupSunday that is, but Puck's got his wall up at the front. Puck's got gas mining like crazy. He can play this out as long as he doesn't get cocky, as long as he doesn't get too, I guess, too confident that he's just going to flat out win. He should be in such a good spot this game. But
it's definitely different than what he did last game, considering the builds that he's going for. He's got that cannon up at the front of his ramp. He's got the Mothership Core in position to defend. I think he knows that one of TeaCupSunday's only really moves at this point in the game is to go for some type of very large run by. And here we go. Lings are going to move into the front of the ramp, and good force field going down.
So are you trying to tell me this is different than last game build or last game Doom? Because I don't know, man. I thought that was
the key factors, Rifkin, is we do not see a second cybernetics core. So just considering that noble fact, I think Puck's going to go for something a little bit different this game.
Yeah, that was actually precisely the point I was going to bring up. But you beat me to it. You took the words right out of my mouth. Either way, that's fine. Phoenix does get over here hallucinated, to scout the base of his opponent. This is what's so cool about Puck. Like, even though he knows he's probably in a good spot, still playing it safe, still scouting. Not just going to be... He's not going to play this dumb, and he's not going to risk losing to a player like this.
That's a freaking... I think that's freaking our Zorg player out here, because TeaCupSunday is dropping down that Hydralisk end once again. He's got a Spore Crawler on the main base. I don't know if maybe he favors the Hydralisk style, because we did see him go for that right off the bat last time, but... Zergling Hydra is kind of an orthodox solution to the ZVP equation. And if Puck's going to be going for some type of very large gateway robotics facility push, which it does look like that's shaping up for him to do, with Blink, the Stalkers are just going to be way better than the Hydras in those engagements. And it's curious to see what's going to happen.
Worth noting, for those who didn't get to see him at the load screen, I don't know if I actually showed the load screen or not, but TeaCupSunday, our barcode, is a Masters player. This isn't some random diamond player who's so outclassed by Puck. I mean, he's got mechanics down pat. He knows that ranged units are really good, and if he goes for Infest or Ling, it's just not going to happen. So by going for the Hydra Stand, I get that. I think that's cool. Big thumbs up. But my confusion lies in the fact that he seems to be investing Lings to be the tanking units for this, when really it should be Roaches. Roach Hydra with Vipers in that late game. There's just no way Colossus can even touch that army, but just Hydralisks? Guys, they have 80 health. They're so fragile.
I think I see where this is going for TeaCupSunday, dropping down this infestation pit. If he mixes Swarm Host into this, we could see some potentially good defense from him. And, with those free units in the form of the Locust, this could potentially work out for him. But he isn't mining optimally on the gas on this third base. Definitely wants to move 3 workers over into that 6 refinery for him. But he's really ramping up his gas intake in this regard. Still only 2 workers in the main base as well. So... looking back at what Puck's going for, he's actually opting for Colossus, and this is a result of scouting out that Hydralisk den. So Puck going for the immediate hard counter against the Hydras, going for that Blink, going for that +2 ground upgrade. Once we see all those finished Rifkin, I think it's going to culminate in a very large timing attack.
If you guys have never had the pleasure of seeing Puck's Blink Micro, I know I'm kind of one-sided with this broadcast, but it's just because I'm not a fan of people who open with cheese twice in a row. However, that being said, if you've never seen Puck's Blink Micro, it's phenomenal. And Stalkers versus just Hydralisk with no buffer, no Lings, no Roaches, nothing to guard for them. Stalkers with well-controlled Blink Micro will beat out the Hydras 9 times out of 10. So with that coupled with the Colossus, with the Guardian Shield, with the Force Fields from these Sentries, Dim, I gotta tell you, this fight is not looking good unless TeaCupSunday starts getting something to buffer for these Hydralisks, because Lings are not going to cut it.
Looking at the unit counting station here, 67 drones, 61 probes. So TeaCupSunday is on an optimal 3-base economy in terms of his drone count to start producing nothing but attacking units. And he's actually been going for pathogen glands here. So infestors could be coming out on the field, and those...
That could work.
If he locks down the gateway units, maybe, but the Colossus could just burn them right off the bat.
Right. And my point was It's better than Lings, though. Like, if you throw down like 50 infested Terrans, 1 fungal growth or 2, it's better than a ton of Lings, but not by much is the problem.
Even if you're able to deter the pathing of the Protoss army, you know, the infested Terrans can almost act like force fields in and of themselves, couldn't they?
I suppose. I've seen it happen before. We've seen people do it with changelings as well, but finally, something that's making a little more sense to me. We got the Spire coming out for TeaCupSunday. This is going to allow him to make a ton of Corruptors, which you can then use to try to overwhelm the Colossus count of Puck, but even then, he's going to be left with pure Hydralisks against Blink Stalkers, against force fields.
You know, TeaCupSunday definitely, we're seeing both players play the reactionary game, and Puck is preemptively here going for Psionic Storm. And we are seeing a War Prism coming out on the field, Rifkin, so I think the aggression is about to ramp up here at the 15-minute mark in this game.
You know what's actually really cool, for those who don't know, Storm does the same amount of damage that Hydras have health by an exact amount. So like the 1 health regen that Hydras get, the Storms can't quite kill them. However, this is... This is going to work really nicely too, because we did see the Pathogen Glands come out. If Infestors are on the field, High Templar for feedbacks will be great. Of course, Storm's better. But that Spire is what I'm really curious about. Well, he's investing a lot of gas right now into 5 Infestors, though, Doom. No
it's also
Burrow.
At the third base, which could pose some problems for TeaCupSunday later in the game if Puck continues to go for this drops-oriented style. But, you know, TeaCupSunday is building a decent amount of static defense at each of his bases, so he should be prepared to deal with these drops. Unless Puck warps in a couple of High Templars and starts dropping Storms on the mineral line to kill drones, then that could be an opportune situation for a Zerg player.
Oh, that would be just sexy if that happened, but... we'll have to see. Warping of Zealots, though, is going to be enough. 2 Spines actually may be able to hold this off if Puck doesn't focus it. Just going for the gas intake for the time being. This is that problem I was worried about, though. If Puck gets a little too overconfident, but he thinks he can win the game easier than he really can, that's one of the opportunities that TeaCupSunday is going to have to get back into this. But the Hallucinated Phoenix, it catches the Infestors, sees a lot of them on the field, knows this is a big investment, and we're going to have to see some Templar join this army.
One of the things that is opportune for Puck in this situation is that he saw that 4th base had no drones on it. So he knows at this point he's on pretty much even economy with his opponent. He's had Hallucinated Phoenix go right over top of the Infestor, so he knows the composition of his opponent as well. So things are really working out for Puck here. The one thing he hasn't seen, I believe, is that Spire at the 3rd base. So however, I guess he's going to assume that the Corruptors could be coming on the field. But sorry,
well, he's been consistently scouting, so he will find that eventually. If the Corruptors don't come to him first, the Phoenix certainly will find it. But started Hive Tech. Did he? Yeah, there we go. Hive Tech is done. So Vipers, I feel, really need to make their way onto the field. Not just for the Abducts. Abducts are cool, whatever. But Blinding Clouds, such a big deal. We got a 3k bank for a Zerg player too, so remaxing on Lings, not out of the question. 50 are coming out, but I question, with 2/2 upgrades invested in range, once again, why not Roaches? They're not great units for the late game, I understand that, but they're going to do so much better than Lings when it comes to soaking Storms, when it comes to soaking Colossus hits.
I'd love to see some Ling run bys, but I do feel as though TeaCupSunday is going to need all of his units here in this upcoming engagement. Don't be shocked to see Puck hit off a bunch of the feedbacks on those Infestors as soon as the engagement goes down, but we're going to have to see exactly how good TeaCupSunday's control is. And Rifkin, we've gone from a cheese game into a straight-up macro game. Both players are maxed out at this point, and Hallucinated Colossus coming out from Puck.
It's going to be fantastic for soaking some of those initial Corruptor hits, but there we go. Fungal growth goes down. It blankets a majority of the army, and as predicted, a lot of the Colossus go down that were hallucinated before the real ones. Blink is forced back. Storms go down left and right. A lot of the Hydras on the ground are gone, and Corruptors in the air are completely useless versus the Stalker count. The last 2 real Colossus are about to fall, but even without any fungal growths left, there's just no way for TeaCupSunday to hold off against these Blink Stalkers. Overlords will fall. Supply will be blocked, and we're going to see Puck move right here into the natural. We got 13 Hydralisks, 12 Lings coming out, but Doom, I don't think that's going to be enough.
They're not going to all come out together, which is going to be a major issue here for TeaCupSunday. He's going to try to engage on top of the Stalkers. The Hydralisks may be able to push them back to the situation, but they should be able to blink away in just a moment. Puck is going to continue to warp in, though, in this situation.
But look at that Blink micro.
Stalkers with Blink. Beautiful micro here from Puck. Plus 3 attack weapons upgrades are going to push forward for him, but he's going to have to get out of there without the equivalent armor upgrades his opponent.
Yeah, that's the downside. He does have plus 3 weapons, but without plus 2 armor, he's taking a lot of heat. But the big thing, of course, is making Colossus once again. TeaCupSunday threw everything he had. Both players walked away with equal resources lost, but the difference is Puck is on 4 bases as a Protoss player. He's remaxing Colossus, he's remaxing Templar, and TeaCupSunday literally lost everything, including Overlords, to that attack. I don't know if he'll possibly be able to remax for round 2.
A tough situation for TeaCupSunday is that he never got drones over to that 4th base, so that 4th base has not been mined at yet, just now utilizing the mineral patches over there on that side of the field. Puck, you know, established his 4th base a little bit later than TeaCupSunday, but he was mining quicker than him. He's utilizing the gas there quicker, so it looks like in this regard, Puck's income is going to continue to be even with the Zerg play, and as you mentioned, definitely not the optimal situation for our Zerg, but got a little pack of Lings here. I'm not sure if this could even do that much damage. There is only 1 cannon here, though.
And it's not really covered by SimCity, but I want to point out, look at the Stalkers lost. Despite the fact that Puck lost 39 Stalkers, the amount he currently has on the field is still 31. So, again, I feel like round 2 of the Blink Stalkers is going to be very difficult to contend with.
I'm doing the not bad face. You guys can't see it, but it's definitely there.
This is why, you know, I'm sorry, I hate caster cams, guys. You're probably never going to see them on Base Trade TV because I don't think they fit into the match. But if you could, Doom's face was pretty much not bad. Who's messaging me? Do we have a game, perhaps? So as I follow Puck's army.
Do like that Puck is mixing in some Archons here. Going to be going for another blow, and it does not look as though TeaCupSunday has changed his composition. He's going to continue to go on this Hydralisk tech, Hydralisk Corruptor at this point. No Vipers on the field, so Blinding Cloud will not come into play. Abducts will not come into play. Ultralisk Cavern is about to go down, but again, the upgrade's not in their favor for that kind of tech path.
Well, Ultras don't need upgrades, it's the one nice thing about them, but I feel the composition for TeaCupSunday was just weird this game. Storms going down on everything, not even trying to move out of them. And nothing from Puck is really even touched. The Colossus still stand, the Corruptors are now taking them out, but Archons are here, the Storms have been thrown down, and I imagine we're going to see a set of Gs coming up next. There we go, good game is called. Puck will take it 2-0 in the qualifying rounds of Red Bull New York City North American qualifiers.